When I camp, my favorite way of sleeping is on a cot. I love it. It's comfortable. I have a good night's sleep when the cot is put together the right way, which I can never do. So I have a love-hate relationship with it because the way it's designed is that it's supposed to be so tight so that you can have a good night's sleep, but it's too tight and I can't really fit it together. So once you fold it out, at the end you have the two bars, and one is at the foot and one is at the head, and one of them I just can't make it fit because the fabric, it's not stretchy, it's not supposed to be, and I just need this much to make it work, and I can never do it. I have watched videos, people told me what to do. One common advice is to, once you put this together, stand it on the side, put your foot on it and pull it and do all these things, and I have tried. I can't do it. So in this video, I'm going to show you an easy solution. If you lack the upper body strength, like I do, I guess, then this is something you might want to consider doing. The only things you need is scissors, some strong upholstery thread, needles, and you can either use some very strong straps. You can go to the fabric store and buy these, and you just tell them how long you want them to cut it. This is actually more than enough. You can also get ribbon called grow grain ribbon, which is really strong. It's actually much narrower than this. It would be about this size, which is okay, but this will work. You can honestly use a canvas fabric, or worst case scenario, even denim. Denim is pretty strong. So the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew an extra casing at the end. So I just need to basically cut this up and just basically sew about this much more at the end. I'm going to sew many of them so that it can be secure and the whole thing will be tight, and then I can put this through it and it will work. It's not going to be as tight as it's supposed to be, but I think it will come pretty close to it. So I anticipate this to be a fairly quick and fairly simple solution. So I'm going to do it and then try it out and see how it feels. As you can see, I just need a ½ an inch more of this fabric, but I can't make that happen. I can't stretch it, so I need to use these straps. So the first step is put the bar in its casing the way it's supposed to be originally, and then try to measure how much strap you will need to sew on. I try to go over from where it's sewn to go around it. It's better to use more than less because you can always cut it, but if you cut it too short, then you can't really do anything with it and you just wasted it. So then I'm making as many straps as I can from this one long piece, and I have 5, so the more the better. Then I kind of lay them out so I see how it will work, and the next step is to thread the needles, and you're using upholstery thread. You want it to be as strong as possible. Next, you can take the bar out from the casing. You don't need it right now. And you're just going to sew the straps on from the bottom. And it would be really nice if I could put a sewing machine here and just do it like that. That would be the tightest and the best, but there's just no way I can make that happen. So I have to do it by hand, and ideally you would want to use the smaller stitches, but just to make it quick first, I'm just using these long stitches, which are not going to be that strong, but that's okay because first of all, I just want to see how it's going to work because I haven't done this before. So I don't want to do all the hard work if I'm going to have to undo it. But also when I sew the other side on top of it, then I can go over it with shorter and more stitches, so it will all work out in the end. So I'm just sewing on each strap, and like I said, I'm sewing it where the sewing is already, so I'm not really ruining this cot. I'm not changing anything permanently. If somebody comes along that's a strong person and they can help me, they can still put the bar through its original case and they can still make it work. So now all 5 straps are sewn on from the bottom. I take the bar and just put it where it's supposed to be. Not put it in the case, obviously. Just put it at the end, just fit it. And then take the strap and make it go around it and pull it as tight as you can while you're sewing it. Obviously, it could be tighter. I can only do so much while holding it with one hand and sewing it with the other, but I think it will actually work out okay. So you're using smaller stitches, and I'm going to have to go over this a little bit later. I just want to see how it's going to work out and make it as strong as I possibly can without really overdoing it. After that, I'm just going to keep going with each strap the same way. And the more I do it, the easier it gets. I think the easiest way is if you start on one end, then you go to the other end, and then you go to the middle, and then you work your way around it. And that way it just gets easier and easier. Overall, I'm very happy how it turned out. Sometimes you have these things in your head and you think they will work, and then when you do it, they turn out totally different. But I think it's pretty good. It's not as perfect, it's not as tight as it could be, if you put it together the right way, but obviously I can't do that. So this will have to do. If I was able to put a sewing machine up here, then I could have sewn it really tight, and then it would have been perfect. But it's okay. I can always go over it more and more as time goes. It will probably stretch a little. But here's one tip. Do this part where your legs are, not where your head is. I purposefully did it like that, where my head is on the other end, where it's perfectly tight. Your feet are not going to weigh as much as your head and your shoulder. So even if it kind of, collapses a little bit or whatever, or stretches, I think it will be fine. For me, it's better than what it used to be, because I had to put the bar kind of like in between. It was just a mess, and even my back hurts sometimes. So I'm going to try this out, and then I'm going to be ready to go camping. Thank you so much for watching. If you are having trouble with your cot, I suggest this method. Try it out and let me know what you think. Once again, thank you so much. I'll see you next time.